Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the Impact Zone podcast. We are back to talk more TNA wrestling shenanigans, and I am wanting to talk about Rebellion, which has gotten two matches announced for this card. That should help sell some tickets. The fair few tickets have already been sold without any of the card being announced. But yeah, this will certainly help shift a few more tickets. First one is Moose versus Nick Nemeth for the TNA World Championship. I don't know whether to give predictions at this point because I probably will be doing predictions much closer to the actual event. So I'm guessing I'm just doing this as news or whatever, or just this is a thing. Hey, let's promote it and let's talk about it and let's run through a few things. But the thing is, again, even if I do predictions here, I get to do predictions again. I don't know. So, my feeling is Nick Nemeth has been pushed quite strong thus far. I wouldn't mind seeing him win the title at some point, maybe, but see, this is the toughest thing about some things in the wrestling business. You cannot hold off too long on doing this sort of thing because you've got an absolute superstar in Nick Nemeth. If he doesn't challenge for the title within a short period of time, people will be saying, oh, they're misusing him. They're just keeping him in this mid-card role. He's not really that important, blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. So it does diminish returns pretty quickly. You need to push him up into the upper card and have him featured. So you need to use him in roles like this. I just don't think it's the right time. I don't think it is. I don't think it's Nick Nemeth's right time yet to win this title. I feel like if Nemeth wins the title, who would he lose it to? And why would he lose it to them? In my opinion, if Nick Nemeth wins the title, it's not a bad thing, but I don't think it's a good thing at this specific point. If Moose had have been facing almost anyone else, it probably would be I would say Moose is 100% winning. It's nice to have matches where you go, dude, I don't know who's winning. Sometimes, but sometimes you just go, dude, realistically, let's get back to realistic things that are inherent within Nick Nemeth being in TNA. We don't know how long he's in TNA. He could be here for another few months. He could be here for the rest of the year. Whatever. That's fine. If he wins the title in his time period in TNA while he's here, that's cool. If he goes out putting somebody over, that's cool. But honestly, in a lot of ways, he needs to just be here to put guys over most of the time anyway. So, why have him win? At this juncture. He doesn't need to win at this juncture. So, I don't know. It's tough. It is so goddamn tough to sometimes make these things work because he's a huge name. and you need to keep him up there. But you need to make new guys. You need to make new stars. Moose is fairly made, but not to a very casual audience outside of TNA. So if Moose were to win this match, that would help elevate Moose, which he really, really needs. He really needs that big win over Nick Nemeth so that he can be elevated into that next level. But again, I don't know. It's tough. So I think I haven't decided, and I can't decide who I think will win. I think that Moose realistically has barely just won it. Realistically. He's had it for a few months now. That's a very short title run so far. But the last title run he had was pretty short as well. To have a really good dominant title run, which I feel like he needs to have it until Slammiversary at least. So I just want to see Moose win, honestly, more than I want to see Nemeth win, because I just want to see this whole thing. Like, I just want to see, like, Moose being actually elevated by beating somebody the level of Nick Nemeth. And that's how you've kind of got to use guys like this. You can't rely on your Nick Nemeths and your whoever else's. This is the problem that I always see with AEW. They've got literally just about every name under the sun. They just signed Mercedes Moné, but yet they haven't given really almost anyone that's new really the rub. Like, properly. They haven't done it properly where anyone feels on the same level as some of these other guys, and they keep using those other guys in the same positions that they've been using them. Yes, you've got to use your big name talent in a big time way, but you've got to find the space to start saying, okay, we're going to give this younger talent, and Moose is a younger talent at this point in his career still, because he's only been at the very top of it for the last 2 years, and he is a 2-time champion. But still, he needs more. He needs more because he's got a longer future in this business, and I guess that's my ultimate call right here, right now. At some point, yes, I think Nemeth should and could win the title, but I don't think it should be now. I don't know. It's so goddamn tough because you could see the potential in something with Nemeth if he held the title for a few months, maybe held it till Bound for Glory, and then lost it to somebody. I don't know. That, or he has a title match at Bound for Glory or Slammiversary maybe, and then finally wins it. I don't know. That would feel better. I don't know. It would still be tough for me to actually accept it. Especially if you do this match in the right way. I know people hate shenanigans and whatnot, and screwy finishes and whatnot, and overbooking or whatever, but you need to give the babyface something to work with. And you need to give your heels sometimes the win, and you need to send your babyfaces on a journey. They can't just I rock up, I win the title, YOLO, let's go. That's not how it should be. You should be always struggling to get it. It's the top prize in the industry. But look at the Bloodline. I think that ran on too long and has run on too long. But like, there's a right way and a wrong way to do these sorts of things, in my opinion, with factions holding all the gold. They need to hold all the gold for a little bit of time, at least a couple of months. And like Edwards and Myers have just won the tag titles. So for them to, again, as the system as a whole, Moose needs to win because, again, otherwise there's no real big story. And that floats back into the next match that was announced, which is a lot easier, I think, in terms of that to sort of discuss. Speedball Mountain versus Myers and Edwards for the tag team titles. Look, literally, as I said, Myers and Edwards have just won these titles, and there's no real point for them to lose. Yes, they're the veterans, and yes, they need to start giving back to the business in putting over some of this young talent and whatnot that's in the roster. But for at least a couple of months, they need to hold these titles. Like, so that they can look good and so that whoever beats them then looks even better. And the same for the next person and the next, and so on and so forth. That's always the way the title pictures go. You're more or less always holding the title, not you're elevating the title and elevating yourselves, not just for yourselves, but whoever comes after you. So you always got to be thinking, like ahead. Who's next? Who's the next thing? These guys have been on a winning streak of sorts for a little while, so it does feel like these guys have earned a shot at the titles, which, fair enough, that's cool. But to say that they've earned those titles is hard to say that they haven't, but it's just not quite the right time. We're going to keep coming back to that, I think. So that's where I think I'm going to come down on the deciding factor, that it's just not quite the right time to do it. Same with the world title. I just don't think it's the right time to do it and to make that switch. Maybe they'll do it. I hope they don't. I don't like it when they hotshot the titles or whatever, or hotshot stories or hot potato things or whatever, that sort of thing. It really hurts things when you do that sort of stuff. I think Macklin was a victim of this. I think that he got hot potatoed with that title pretty well. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's lots and lots and lots and lots of potential stuff still, I feel. And you could see something between, like, Macklin coming to interfere or whatever. Perhaps, like, saying, like, the system's banned from ringside or whatever. Yeah, sure, cool. And then, Macklin helps Moose in some ways so that he gets revenge on Nemeth and they continue their feud next month or whatever. Because I still think that they should continue their feud. You have to have ends to feuds. So, yes, they have to end their feud. But I still feel like the feud is and should be ongoing. So, and I think you should put that at Slammiversary, like a match between Macklin and Nemeth, like a hardcore match of some sort. Winner gets a shot at the TNA title, obviously with Nemeth going over, and he gets the title at Bound for Glory. Run this back at Bound for Glory. Now there's no, or, Macklin can't interfere and the system can't interfere, or if anyone interferes, or if it's a steel cage or something else so that no one can interfere, then Nemeth wins. then you have that big feel-good moment. Maybe, I don't know, like, you could do any number of things along this journey. So who is the next guy? Like, who is the next guy? Like, and that's always one of those big things in wrestling. Like, it's not bad to step backwards and go with an older, more established star. Hence, Edwards and Myers. I think that you do need that at times, especially to put over new young guys. But the main thing here, I think, is like, where is that point? And what do you do with it? Like, because, like, Josh Alexander's there. He's probably the other top star besides Nick Nemeth. I'd almost want to see Nemeth turn heel. I don't know. Like, again, it feels like there's so many goddamn heels at the moment. So, I don't know. Maybe if he wins the title, then he can turn heel. And then he can lose it to Josh, or he can lose it to some... Actually, I almost feel like he should just lose it to Zachary Wentz. Weirdly enough. Probably one of the weirdest picks. But that was his first opponent, his first match in TNA. So it would be like some symmetry to have that be his undoing, that be the person he loses it to, or that be the person that he, like, once he's leaving, like, that they beat him on the way out. So that'd be nice. But, like, I don't know. It's really tough to figure out the thought, because, like, their thought is always like, let's put on the biggest match that we can to draw people in to the show. And this is the biggest pay-per-view, or last month was the biggest pay-per-view, Hard to Kill, in the same arena. So the idea is, hey, these guys were there for Hard to Kill. In the same arena, we're going to see Nick Nemeth, where he debuted, challenging for the title. More symmetry. So it's still very tough for me to 100% say that that's what I think. I feel like that's what should happen, but whether that's what will happen is another thing, I think. I don't know. We will wait and see, and we will discuss it more as it gets closer. And it is about a month away, which gives us quite a bit of build up to this match. I'm sure there's going to be 3 6-man tags and that sort of thing in between then and now. So, yeah, we'll wait and see for more stuff. And I do want to say, like, the original graphics were pretty good. Like, but these graphics, like, specific graphics, like this, it's pretty much the same. Like, you could almost tell that Nemeth was going to be, like, on the main card, or, you know, part of this, like a big part of this thing, since he's was already on the poster before. But just seeing it like this and seeing this kind of thing, yeah, those look really good. So, but you guys can let me know what you guys think. As always, write your thoughts down there in the comments below. Hope you've enjoyed, and hope you will join me again in the next one.